The M&M's man, and he adds a lot of love to make it all taste good. Who dunks M&M's?
This is terrible.
To the recording studio.
Living for tomorrow, lost within a dream, trying to find the answer to the question, and it seems that love makes the world feel good. Singing in the moonlight, dancing in the rain, let the sun shine through to lift your spirit once again. Love makes the world feel good. It's got a mistake. Drop the smoke up on your side and double up on your side. And we praising God on midday.
Welcome to a special edition of Ministry Moments with the Men's Ministry. I am your host, Derek Carr,
Ed Maxwell,
William Ports,
Kevin James.
and we're the 4 M's of the Men's Ministry. It's our core values and what we stand on and what we believe in. And so they are ministry, monitor, mentor, and maturity. So I'm just let the fellas take it. Kevin, why don't you start us off?
Well, ministry, the word ministry really means to serve. And what we do at St. Stephen Church, we give men opportunities to serve our church and serve our community. One of the most visible ministries and services is the choirs at St. Stephen Church. For years, we've always had massive Men's Day choirs. We do have a Mighty Men's Ministry, but there's other places that the men can serve. The usher board, most of the time on Men's Day, the men usher. Also in our deacon ministry, men are involved in our deacon ministry. There's a plethora of ways they can serve. They also serve as Sunday school teachers. All those are ways that we do ministry at St. Stephen Church. Now, because of COVID, we can't do as much or have as many people involved as we used to have, but we are looking forward to post-COVID, when COVID is over, where we can get our men back together and have a great time fellowshipping together as men.
Thank you, Kevin. So now we're going to move on to monitoring. So I'm going to let my brother Ed Maxwell take that.
Next M in the St. Stephen's Men's Ministries is for monitor. The 3 objectives of monitor are politics, community organizing, and social justice. Let's start with politics. Each man has a civil, community, moral, and spiritual responsibility to study the issues. We're making decisions on voting and supporting candidates which will advance and not hinder our communities. That's one big one. The next one is community organizing. Good stewards of the church, helping with various activities throughout the city. We supplied over 7,000 free masks to the communities. We attended the All Hands on Deck program to find resolutions to stop the gun violence, being part of these things. The last bullet under monitor is social justice. As men, and especially as black men, need to be cognizant and informed on the many social justice issues which surround us today. And when necessary, be willing to get into, as John Lewis would say, some good trouble. Each of the objectives equally important and require service above self. I'm gonna throw it back to Dave.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for your passion. So I'm gonna give it to my brother Will. Will you talk about mentoring?
The next M we want to talk about is mentoring, and the objective for mentor is boys into men. To become productive men in today's society. Many boys are struggling to figure out how to do this thing called life. That's why it is imperative to mentor young boys into men. The men's ministry will help mentor young men into developing their Christian walk with Christ. Young men are missing that Christ connection, and it is up to us as men and as mentors to introduce them to Christ and show them the way. I'll turn it back over to Derek.
Thank you, Will. That was very passionate as well.
Yeah.
We have done a lot for our community. And one thing about St. Stephen's, and one good thing about the M that I selected was maturity. One of the first things that I learned being a member of St. Stephen's for 22 years now, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And that's what we've done.
Yes.
And we sharpen one another with the way we model to one another, the way we teach our young men how we study to show ourselves approved, the way we have our fellowships, and we are rooted in love. You know what? I have gotten more hugs in the men's ministry when we used to come to prayer breakfasts, and rehearsal was always special. It's about the spirit.
Yes.
It's always been the spirit of a willing brother that makes the difference, and that's what maturity is all about. We have a fellowship and a friendship. It goes hand in hand. As men, we've learned how to sharpen one another. We need everybody to be a part. So please join us. Please be a part of the Ben's ministry. But one thing, God has been good to all of us.
Yes.
So all we can do is serve and thank him. So thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. The 4 M's and the Men's
I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Yeah, you working on me. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Working on me. Working on me. Working on me. I'm working on me. Working on it. I'm handmade. Working on it. I'm handmade. Working on it. I'm handmade. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Yeah, you working on me. I ain't perfect, but I'm worth it. Handmade. Yo, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Working on it. I'm working on it. Working on me. Yeah.